Hey everybody, welcome to Less Worse Podcast. My name is Akil.
And I'm Jerry.
And today we're going to be talking about conspiracy theories.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We decided that we're going to go with cartoon conspiracy theories to open it up because that's the most real world application of conspiracy theories. Being a millennial, I thought that was true. So let's hit it. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I was curious. You were telling me about there's some SpongeBob conspiracy.
There's a SpongeBob conspiracy theory.
Who sat down and dreamed this? What's it about?
Okay, so to explain the subject before anyone thinks we're fucking insane. It's not us who's insane. It's
other people.
It's other people. It's society at large, really. So Tumblr more specifically. So basically, what?
These things we're about to talk don't reflect our. But
no, not at all.
Necessarily.
I watch cartoons and I don't think too hard about them.
Yeah.
These people did. So basically, what these are is people will look into the universes of cartoons and they'll they'll think about what could have made that universe be that way. A really simple one is people think that Powerpuff Girls and Samurai Jack take place in the same universe. Have you seen that one?
I've heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, their proof is that in Samurai Jack, he'll be walking across the landscape and they'll see something they see in the Powerpuff Girls show, which happens. Like the city of Townsville, it looks the same except it's all busted up and red and broken down. Nobody lives there and destroyed and stuff. And then there's another dog food sign that also showed up in Powerpuff Girls, but it's also busted up and shit, and the art style is slightly different. So you can argue it, but I'm pretty sure that they actually kind of did that as an Easter egg thing.
Yeah, I doubt anyone's trying to make this parallel universe. We're
Yeah.
just
Actually,
unless they're Kevin Smith.
We'll hit this first, and then we'll do the SpongeBob one. So basically, I think that maybe that is the case because you remember that episode of the Powerpuff Girls. Did you ever watch the Powerpuff Girls?
I don't remember any of it.
Okay. So you might remember this episode. I mean, you might if I bring it up, but you might remember this episode where they go into an alternate future where they failed to save the day from him. You remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah, weird cross-dressing Satan demon thing.
Yeah.
I mean, his style, dare I say, was on fleek, but yeah, that's the thing people say, still say. But anyway, I'm hip, I'm with it, totally groovy, man. But anyway, so basically, people were I think. People would get real close to the microphone just like this and be like, I think,
yeah,
that universe where him transports them into the future to a future where he wins and everything's bad and red, that's the same universe as Samurai Jack. And that's plausible. I mean, it could be. The color palette's the fucking same, but I think it maybe has a lot to do with the fact that a lot of the same artists worked on it because it was a Cartoon Network thing.
Right. And just if you win the world, why would you just make
it shitty?
Make it shitty. Wouldn't you want to have nice things?
Well, he was literally Satan, pretty much. He had lobster hands. Okay, so my thought is that before you can build a world that is what you want, you have to break down the world that was built before it. So that world was built for people who either had, it's a cartoon, so 4 fingers. Or none in the case of the Powerpuff Girls because they didn't have fingers. And he had pinchers.
Do you think that's what they were fighting over?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was. So I think he was trying to take down the whatever the equivalent of a 4-fingered patriarchy is. He was trying to bust that shit down so he could bring in his crab clawed, arguably queer agenda. He wore a pink boa, all right? Did you hear him speak or walk or... He licked the professor.
That was just the most interesting, I remember being a kid and saying that, and it was just this is weird.
Well, you remember when he licked the professor, right?
Yeah.
He licked the whole side of his face, which I will do to people, not people, I will do to my girlfriend as a joke because it's disgusting. He did that to a total stranger. To a total stranger's face, just licked his whole face. He doesn't know where the professor's been.
Right, because he's the one who's
Yeah.
just obviously dirty.
Well, yeah. Hey. Him may have been evil, but that motherfucker was always in the bath.
Didn't they used to just like they used to play some weird music under whenever you used to talk?
Yeah, it was like super weird. But anyway, so a lot of people think that's the first example. A lot of people think that Samurai Jack and the Powerpuff Girls take place in the same place in the same cartoon universe because there are things linking them to one another.
Right.
Another thing is, and this is more of a real world example, or a cartoon relating to a real world event. SpongeBob, the whole thing where there was like, what the hell is it called? Nuclear testing in the Bikini Atoll. People thought that was the cause of why everyone in Bikini Bottom could talk. Yeah, because it was like at the bottom of the Bikini Atoll, and because they're all mutants is essentially what it is. It's like because of the nuclear testing in that area, the fallout caused them all to become fucking freaky mutants.
So instead of just like cool stuff like Godzilla, we get like a jellyfish catching pansy.
Don't be rude.
Oh, okay.
So far, I guess the theme of the show has been very arguably queer characters in cartoons.
Yeah.
Which is great, you know? It's good to see that representation. Although I think SpongeBob may have just been fucking weak as shit. He could be asexual.
I don't think he wasn't gay. He was just like a
Poindexter
nerd.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess you could make that. Have you heard his voice?
Yeah.
Have you heard his voice?
I have.
And as someone who is doing an audio-only podcast, I'm opening myself up to some rebuttal there. But have you heard his voice?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. And he dresses... I don't know.
It's just like... when you hear like the stereotypical gay accent, it's not SpongeBob-y.
Gay accent? I don't know. You remember those old... We're going all over the place. You remember those? Yeah. You remember those old? You remember those old YouTube videos where that dude was spoofing David Blaine's Street Magic?
No.
It was from like 2004. Well, if you did, those are two gay guys, I think, and I they sound like SpongeBob.
Oh.
Like their voices are all like in the back of their throats, high pitched, and they're all. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with these characters. I'm just saying I think they're gay. But anyway,
he never had anyone to be gay with, I don't think.
Who, SpongeBob?
Yeah.
Man,
he wasn't.
Patrick's thick, all right?
He wasn't. I don't think he was knocking down Patrick like that.
I was hoping you would laugh. But you just came up back at me with just the straightest face. Like, we're going to discuss the merits
we are discussing
SpongeBob's homosexuality. And you had a point. Okay, so that's SpongeBob. There's a couple. Like, I wrote them down. So there's a couple here. There was Samurai Jack, there was SpongeBob. Scooby-Doo takes place in a alternate universe where we never recovered from the Depression, I guess.
Oh, is that why like everyone's broke?
Everyone's broke. Everyone's trying. Like, have you noticed that every house they go into is haunted? It's not like they're just hunting for haunted houses. Everywhere's just shitty now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. Is that why like whenever people rob convenience stores have like black ski masks? I think that's just like real. If you want to commit crime, wear a mask.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've seen people just do it in hats similar to the ones we're wearing. So, but they're stupid and they get caught.
Yeah.
Anyway, fine. Well, the villains in Scooby-Doo always get caught, and they were wearing masks.
Well, they have to deal with the brilliant detective work of a talking dog.
Those meddling kids.
Yeah, those meddling kids.
I mean, they would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for that talking dog and those meddling kids. But so yeah, no, Scooby-Doo takes place in an alternate universe where we never recovered from the Depression, and basically
I don't know about that because like Fred can afford those fresh ass ascots.
Yeah, but that's because they're the only. I mean, I have no doubt that Velma, Daphne, and Fred are all trust fund kids who picked up a stoner and his dog on the road, and it just happened to work out. Because have you seen their groovy ass van?
I did.
No one else has a groovy ass van like that. No,
You got
no
me
one
there.
else has a groovy ass van like that.
You got me there, man.
So yeah, no, I
Next best thing is like Miss Frizzle's Magic School Bus. It's the next best thing. It's a step down.
No, that's all right. We're gonna go away from the conspiracy theories of cartoons for a second and go to the actual real conspiracy theory that vaccines cause autism. There is
Which they did. No, I'm just kidding. No.
which they do.
No.
So I saw a short recently. I think it was by like College Humor or something. It was a short where like Miss Frizzle shrunk down. She's like, so I love taking kids into the Magic School Bus to show them, to teach them about things. But since your kids were not vaccinated, it is incredibly dangerous to bring them to school. And so she's like, I'm gonna bring you 3 parents onto the bus and and I'm gonna teach you about vaccines. And she does, and one of the parents is like, well, doesn't it bother you that vaccines are a conspiracy to give kids autism? And she's just like, well, that's totally wrong. And she looks at another parent and she's like, what the hell are you doing? And then she's just like, I'm healing it the way I heal my kids, with crystal therapy. She drops a crystal and she's like, oh, that was fucking expensive. And then the last parent, he's like a crazy, like, think like any like white old sports announcer, like just too over the top.
Right.
And he's just like, we have to kill all the vaccine before it gives this kid autism, and he kills all the vaccine. And Miss Frizzle, like, the whole background gets red, and she's just like, so this kid has measles now, and he's gonna die. He's got a fever of 104. So
It's just like, that's just like the weirdest. It's the weirdest way how that took off. Like
What?
the whole like vaccines cause autism thing.
it's funny too because like Jenny McCarthy
Yeah.
made that up based on like
Because the greatest scientist of our
Jenny
generation,
McCarthy.
Jenny McCarthy.
No. She got her findings from a scientist.
Science. I know, like Science. It's a journal called Science. They posted just like they published something in their magazine, and they were like, "Hey, this maybe might whatever."
There is a correlation, but it is not a causation. I mean, it's the same. It's like saying, like, the more people who, like, buy Cocoa Puffs, the more car crashes there are. Maybe that's just because more people are buying Cocoa Puffs and more people are on the road. But like, maybe it's just there's more people in the world to do both things. But that you can't prove that correlation.
It's one of those things to where it's just like, look, if you just want polio so bad,
Yeah.
just get polio. Like, just don't be vaccinated against whatever thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna work itself out.
It's funny. We were going to go from cartoon conspiracy theories to real conspiracy theories, and we made the switch awful fast.
We did.
Yeah.
I think we just really wanted to talk about real conspiracy.
So Jenny McCarthy got her findings from another scientist who, quite a long time ago, was like, look, I faked it for money. I lied. I straight up lied. And the damage has already been done because the rumor's already out there. It's like the Streisand effect. Now that we try and like hide it and be like, no, it doesn't, makes people want to be like, oh, you libtard cuck. Of course it does. You just want to believe what the government wants you to tell you.
It's just like, it's one of those things. It's so, I don't know how people are backing up.
Hold on. This is not to say that every conspiracy nut is a Republican. I didn't mean to imply that by saying libtard cuck, but but I do see a lot of people be like, wake up sheeple, and they happen to have a Republican lean, but that doesn't mean that all Republicans are crazy. It also doesn't mean there's no crazy Democrats, but I'm just basically sorry. I didn't mean to single
Everybody's
out a party.
Crazy. Have common sense.
Yeah, I didn't mean to single out a single political party. My goal here is not to get political. But anyway. Basically she got her findings from someone who lied, and then no one's back down about it.
It's just like, that's the spokesperson. That's who people are going to rally behind.
Yeah.
Of course.
Absolutely.
The Playboy model.
Totally.
Because there's all the scientific training, all the schooling in the world. I just got butt naked for Playboy my whole career. That's what I'm famous for. By the way, also just my opinions on, like, people, it's crazy. Like, it makes no sense. People just jump on it. They jump behind it. And
Yeah.
It's just like, you need more people. You need more science. You need more everything to where it's just like, you're making sense. It makes no sense.
What's another conspiracy theory? Let's talk about actually my favorite two. We'll talk about Rugrats real quick, and then we'll talk about my favorite two cartoon conspiracy theories. Rugrats. Well, you've heard of this one, so why don't you explain it a little bit? If you don't remember it, I'll fill in your holes. But just tell me what you remember of it.
It was basically like Angelica. All the babies were like figments of her imagination.
Yeah, because she had an possessive mother.
Yeah.
Who never let her go out.
It was just like Tommy was like stillborn.
Yeah.
That's why Stu was always making toys up in the laboratory.
Oh, that's fucking depressing.
Putting in that work down in the laboratory, soldering, welding, doing all that stuff, attaching stuff together, super glue. You know my boy Stu be doing them toys.
Could you like lower the flow right now?
Yes. The twins, they both were like miscarriage, whatever.
Yeah,
like,
and she couldn't remember what.
She didn't know if it was like a boy or a girl, so she just had the twins.
She's made both, yeah.
Yeah, Chucky died with Chad's wife some kind of way. That's why he was always like nervous and anxious. And there was another one, right? And then Susie was just black.
So not dead per se, but just dead to a racist family.
Yeah.
Angelica's racist family. Yeah, I thought that one was interesting because like, how fucking twisted do you have to be like, oh yeah, the Rugrats, it's about a whole bunch of dead kids. There's a whole cartoon out there about dead babies.
This is all just like some stoner.
No, man, no stoner is. I mean, that's a hell of a bad trip. No stoner I know is just like, I'm gonna think about dead babies because it's gonna be like, oh, that harshes my buzz, and they're gonna stop in like 5 seconds. I guarantee that whole theory took longer than 5 seconds to come up with.
You're right. Someone had to have sat down.
Yeah, someone sat down and thought about that shit. I mean, someone sat down and thought about all this shit. Someone thought about the SpongeBob thing. Someone sat down about the Scooby-Doo thing. Not all of them are particularly clever. And honestly, the one about the Powerpuff Girls thing and like seeing the visual cues that make them similar, that's clever. That's cool. The rest of this shit's made up. It's totally
It's just someone can just sit down and enjoy a nice family-oriented show.
No,
inject
fuck you for thinking that.
That to inject their insecurities and just like evil into it.
Yeah, no, you can't. It can't be done.
No.
What's another one? Okay, so my favorite two are the Courage the Cowardly Dog one makes a lot of sense to me. And if you don't know about this, it is basically the idea that because Muriel and Eustace are so goddamn old, because they're so fucking old, they never take their dog out on a walk. So basically, his whole stomping grounds is just basically their area. Like he never goes outside the house. So because of that, he that's why they live in the middle of nowhere. Because technically, to him, it's all from Courage's perspective. To him, there's nothing outside that house forever because he doesn't know it's there, and you can't have object permanence about something you've never seen.
Right.
And then all the villains basically are things that scare him. Like you remember that one he gets stuck inside of a vacuum. That's why. That's why I have anxiety about vacuum.
You got stuck inside one.
You. Huh?
You got stuck inside a vacuum?
Yeah, he got stuck inside a vacuum, so he's scared of vacuums. Yeah. He's scared of cats. He's scared of like there's that one Ramses?
Yeah.
Ramses! Yeah. The man in Gauze. The man in Gauze. That one scares me. That one literally scares me because the CGI is so like wonky and creepy.
That was the one with the song, right?
Yeah.
I was more just like, I was liking that hot ass tune. It was good.
No, yeah, no.
I bumped that in the whip all day, every day.
You're just like the man in Gauze.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Can't wait for this beat to drop.
Yeah.
Ramses! Hell yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, no, that one I can't really explain. But the rest of them, like, you remember the weird, like, creepy ass barber?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one, he's one where like dogs don't like to be groomed. Right? Like no one I mean, fuck, I don't even like getting a haircut, so I can only imagine how a tiny ass little purple dog feels being held down and shaved. So that was the thing with him. It was just like, other than the fact that he's like a weird, almost
right, he was just weird
pervert.
Yeah.
I
think he was actually, there was something wrong. There was actually
something
wrong.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
he had
I
like
did
photographic.
something naughty.
Didn't he have like pictures he did of the naughty things he done?
Yeah.
So like he was actually fucked.
Oh
up.
yeah, no, totally. Well, yeah. I mean, you got to keep in mind this is still a cartoon. So yeah, he's gonna do some weird shit. But I mean, all the characters that Courage encountered did some weird shit. But on the other hand, if you were to like take all the weird away from it, it would explain like how it's just a dog with an overactive imagination with a lot of anxiety being freaked out about shit. And then ironically named Courage.
The best, I don't know, quick aside.
Sure.
The best Courage like villain, I think, it was like this cockroach. Did you ever see that one?
You said that, and all that popped into my mind was the cockroaches from Family Guy. Where he was like, oh yeah, there was some bad cockroaches in that bathroom. Opens it up. It's like, oh man, you better get out of here. I'm gonna cut you so bad. You're gonna wish I didn't cut you so bad. It's like, man, there's some bad cockroaches.
Right. No, but it was just like really cool.
Or was it those cockroaches?
Almost. It was like this big cockroach, and it was like he was just like talking shit. I don't know, but like he was just like it was just like the most. It was like threatening, but not really. I like stuff like that. That's fun. Where it was just like where he was like he had this door, and there was just like these like weird murderous sounds inside the door.
Whoa.
And he was like. It was like, y'all want to see what's inside that door? You don't want to see what's inside that door. It was just like, it was so just like,
what?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I liked it.
I didn't remember that. I did not actually ever watch all of Courage. Like that was one of the shows where I would see it on Cartoon Network, and I would see that, and I'd immediately flip over to more classy programming such as Nickelodeon or Disney XD.
See people get gunked or gooped or slimed. Gooped. I don't know.
I'd
skeeted on.
Or I'd slide over to watch Ashton Kutcher punk some people.
Yeah.
To watch Zach Braff beat up some teenagers who destroyed his Porsche.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That's when everyone realized he was an asshole. He was like, oh.
Yeah. Well, if you caught someone vandalizing your Porsche, wouldn't you fucking kill somebody?
I'm so far removed from having a Porsche to where it's just like, I just have a Toyota. And like someone keyed my Toyota once, and it was just like, this is just a Corolla. Like, I don't care that much. I didn't spend that much money on it.
Well, okay, yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, every time it hails, everyone at work is always talking to me about like, oh my god, it's gonna hail my car, and I'm just like, dude, I paid $1,200 for my car. I don't give a fuck. It got hail damage when I bought it.
I guess.
So at worst,
I have like no chill when it comes to celebrities. I guess.
Yeah.
Because if someone messes up your Porsche, it's like, buy another one, you rich, like you rich motherfucker.
Yeah. Well. All right, so that reminds me of something. But first, I just want to be like, the reason I'm not really worried about hail damage on my car is because like, at worst, there's going to be so much hail damage, it evens out, and my whole car is just like a half-inch smaller in every direction. So if it gets enough hail damage, it'll look like it didn't have any hail damage.
Right, yeah.
That's the idea, and I hope that I hope that works out. Physics-wise, I know that can't be, but, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so that reminds me, what you said, like, oh, you rich assholes, just fucking buy another one. That reminds me of the Fire Festival that just happened. Did you hear about that?
I heard that Ja Rule and company got sued for like $100 million.
Yeah.
Because they said it was gonna be like this nice thing, and it just ended up being chaos.
Okay, so what do you know about it other than that?
That's all I know.
That's all you know? Okay, basically a whole bunch of people paid anywhere from like $1,500 to $150,000 a ticket, something like that, some crazy amount of money. To go see, like, Blink-182 is a headlining act. So from right there, you should have known that it was not going to be a real event.
Is that your conspiracy theory?
Yeah. You can tell by the CGI on the poster that they were never going to play.
Blink-182 was never going to be there.
Yeah. You can tell that this poster was not a real photograph, but instead was photoshopped to look that way.
So, like, what happened?
So, basically, yeah, a whole bunch of people bought, like, it was basically, like, Coachella for the rich is kind of how they marketed it. And it was supposed to have a whole bunch of great headline acts and stuff like that. Blink-182 was the one that really poked out to a bunch of people. And the reason I bring that up is because a whole bunch of people poked fun at, like, well, if you're gonna pay $120,000 to see Blink-182 live, you deserve what's coming to you.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of people said that. A ton of people said that. So then, basically, they did that, and people got flown out to it, and they went to this private island that they rented out, and that was about all the preparation they did. They did that, and they advertised these really, really nice tents, right? Like as lodging, with like there were illustrations of what it was going to look like, but no photos, oddly enough. So when they got there, they did not see these nice 2-person bedded bungalows, but instead they found disaster relief tents with almost no furniture in it. Like, I think there was like a pallet, like blankets and pillows in it, and that was it.
I don't know.
And
they could have just pretend like it was a vacation to Haiti or something.
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It became, okay, so the reason it's drawn a lot of ire and why people have been like, oh my God, suck it up, is because a lot of the people, I mean, it's no doubt it's a bad situation. I wouldn't want to be stuck in it no matter what I paid or didn't, or, what I got paid to be stuck in. I wouldn't want to fucking deal with that.
Haiti, right?
Yes. No, the Fire Festival.
Yeah.
If I were to be stuck there, I wouldn't want to be.
Right.
So no matter the amount of money I paid or was paid to be there, it would be bad. But
yeah,
a lot of people were like, oh my God, you need to suck it up, because a bunch of the people were comparing it to like war zones.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And it wasn't that way. Like, there was some like looting and people were fighting and stuff, but that's because they were frustrated fucking dad's a lawyer people.
There's people who are like really living in war zones who are just like, that's offense. Like, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's people who are actually living in war zones like right now who probably like caught that on Facebook, because everyone has Facebook, and they're just like, what the fuck? Nuh-uh.
They wish their life could just be,
yeah.
Oh man, Blink-182 didn't show up.
Yeah, really. Like, there's not enough food, and that's my only problem. Oh, that was another thing. The food, there's supposed to be like super crazy awesome like meals and stuff. They got bread with pre-cut cheese. I was amazed they mentioned that it was pre-sliced, because that just tells you the kind of people they are.
Yeah.
They don't buy their cheese packaged in plastic.
No.
Akil. They don't buy that Sargento cheap shit.
No, they buy like a block of cheese.
Yeah, they go to the deli. They go straight to the deli counter. They don't even fucking bother with the bargain bin when the deli cut too much, or they don't bother with the aisle that's got the cheese on it. They go straight to the deli, and they skip to the front of the line, and they buy the whole fucking block of cheese.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny they mentioned it was pre-sliced, because I was like, oh, what a world.
It's just, I don't know.
But it was bread, cheese in a styrofoam box, like a little to-go box.
It's just like,
I think there was some third thing, but it wasn't good.
It's just like, again, I can only speak for me.
Yeah, sure.
If I had just like a pre-sliced cheese sandwich right now, that'd be fucking great.
I mean, I think you're just hungry because you didn't eat
am.
before you came over.
But also, if I just went to like a concert, it's just like, fuck, it's not.
Yay, I'm not starving. Because I don't have to go to work tomorrow.
Because I also thought that like Coachella for rich people was just Coachella.
Yeah.
I don't know the levels to it.
I don't either.
So
I've never been to Coachella, but I do know the stereotype of like every girl is wearing like a culturally appropriated leather dress and a flower crown.
Forever 21 isn't cheap.
No.
And it seems like they have like the summer collection from like wherever that is.
So I guess the idea was kind of like Coachella is where like all the lawyers' kids go to have fun at a music festival. Fire Festival is supposed to be where all the lawyers go.
Oh, okay.
It's like more expensive.
That's weird.
So it was a whole fucking mess, and essentially people couldn't get flights out. Essentially, I think people might still be stuck there.
It's like
it's not a great situation. I mean, it's not a great situation. It's definitely unfortunate, and I feel for the people who are really actually like going through some troubles there.
I don't feel for them.
They didn't deserve it.
I mean, look.
What?
When Ja Rule is one of the main guys behind it, you have like a knockoff bargain bin Tupac. You already don't have like the A1.
Damn.
Like, you got like, you're starting off. just like level, like Division 2.
Sure.
So of course it's gonna just be that level.
Terrible. All right, fine. Yeah.
Like get someone who's like known for being rich and assholey. Get like Paris Hilton to like organize whatever thing.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. I mean, I guess I don't know who Ja Rule is really. So my only exposure to him has been this whole controversy with the Fire Festival.
Well, that's him.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
Is expecting more and being disappointed. That's Ja Rule.
He could do so much better so easily, but how did he do this bad?
Yeah.
Is it that?
Yeah, it's basically just like he started off like, all right, you know Tupac, right?
Yes.
So he did like Ja Rule bit from him. He did the whole like shirtless, bandanaed up gangster thing.
Uh-huh.
But like instead of just being like what made Tupac amazing, like being genuine and like actually whatever,
being good,
he just
at
made
his
like
job.
I'm a thug and I need love songs. And that's just Ja Rule. And it's just like, this is not good.
So you're saying Ja Rule did this just to like revitalize interest in himself?
Like, you know how
conspiracy theory?
You know how like
let's
Jennifer
bring it back. Is this
yeah.
your conspiracy theory?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay.
All right.
You know how Jennifer Lopez, we let her have a music career for whatever reason?
Why you gotta be so disrespectful? Go ahead. Yeah. Yes, we did.
Okay.
We did let that happen. I don't know.
He had her featured on a song, and it's just like, that's the level of celebrity you're dealing with. So it's just like, you're not, like, I don't know. All right, you're seeing Blink-182 paying thousands of dollars to see Blink-182 in an event
festival.
Organized by Ja Rule. What did you think was going to happen?
I mean, that's what people have been saying all over like Twitter and Facebook and Tumblr and everything like that.
You just wanted to be rich on an island with your rich friends.
Which you could have done at home.
Yeah.
Back on your island mansion. In a lot of cases, like a lot of these people were really fucking like they haven't had a cheese sandwich ever. Like that's the look on your face, just like and so
welcome to
I have
welcome
to lower like
hey,
upper.
at least
upper,
you got
lower
to
class.
eat your cheese sandwich on an island.
Yeah.
Or whatever nice place you paid to be.
Yeah, welcome to the lower class.
Yeah.
Welcome to the 98%.
Yeah.
So
you get to go home to all your money again. So it's like it's whatever.
Well, I mean, a lot of people were like because of the like looting and rioting, which I don't know what the fuck there was to loot. I don't have enough cheese.
Yeah,
I need to get all the
like,
cheese.
That speaks to like the character of the people that win. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think someone who just had a spare $1,500 and that's all they had to their name. They're like, I'm gonna go do this, and then I'm gonna kill myself. They went, and then this happened, and they're like, I'm gonna loot. I have a reason to live again.
It's just like that alters my perception of just like looting. Because like the last time I saw like real like prime cut looting,
You saw it?
yeah,
Heard
it was
about
like
it?
Hurricane Katrina, where it's just like, all right, shit went tits up.
Yeah.
All right, loot.
Yeah.
Is this like Blink-182 didn't show up?
All right, loot.
It doesn't make sense to me. It's just so weird. I don't know.
I guess. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me either, but okay. So that's the I think it was called the Fire Festival with
Yeah.
a Y. So you could tell it was gonna be bad from the beginning. Like I just thought it was gonna have a bad lineup when it had a Y, but no, it turned out to be the fucking Hunger Games.
Mm-hmm. There's the Purge.
So my last cartoon conspiracy
okay.
theory that is my absolute favorite, like the fucking cream of the crop, top of the line cartoon conspiracy theory that I like, is the Ed, and Eddie one. That it's fucking such a hard transition. I'm sorry, I couldn't keep my cool. So the theory posits that they are all kids who have died and went to purgatory. Have you heard about this one?
No, I didn't.
Okay, great. Basically, everyone died and went to purgatory, and you can tell this because all their tongues are like green and blue, like dead people's would be. I don't know if that's true or not, but fuck, let's just assume it is. That is their proof. And also, you can tell that like pretty much every kid is from like a different time period. Like Double E's from the 80s, Eddie's from the Kevin's from the 90s. Ed's from like the Depression or something because he's not educated or whatever. I think Eddie might also be from that area because he's like a scam artist. Rolf's like a fresh off the boat 1890s immigrant because he is weird and talks weird. Jimmy's like a kid from like the 2000s who died of leukemia or something, and yeah, stuff like that. So that's the idea.
Okay, so like whenever I meet like a dumb person now, it's not that they're dumb; they're just from the Great Depression.
I mean, sure. No, I mean that's so. This is the theory. I don't believe it. I just think it's interesting and funny. But the catch here is they are not the only people who are there. Oh, okay. So this explains the absence of like any adults or anything like that from their goings on in the cul-de-sac. This also explains the Kanker sisters and how they are different in that they are the only 3 characters that actually have normal ass pink tongues, like an alive person might have.
Right.
So the idea is that they are demons who are there in purgatory to torture them so that they can learn to be better. Of course, this doesn't make any sense because never once did I look at the Kankers and be like, they just taught them a valuable lesson. I always thought like, oh, they tried to molest them.
Sexually harassed.
Yeah, they sexually harassed literally, all 3 of them for 30 minutes. And that's very interesting and everything.
Maybe
but I don't think I learned anything.
Maybe that's the lesson.
What?
Sexual harassment is good? I don't know.
The least you could have done has been like, yeah, sexual harassment is bad. But no. I can't catch a break with you.
No, if they're officiating the purgatory.
No, we're done. We're done with that. But basically, that was the theory: is everybody's dead from a different time period, and like Rolf got like kicked by a horse, Jimmy died of leukemia, Ed and Sarah died of like starvation, and blah 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 blah. And that also explains why Jimmy's so goddamn pale.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that's the theory with Ed and Eddie, and I thought that one was really interesting because it not only does it span across like religion and like alternate timelines and stuff like that, it spans generations, which I thought was really interesting. Like it's all these kids who died at different times who are all the same age, who are all like suffering together.
That's dark.
Yeah, I know, right? All these are fucking depressing as shit. Like 2 of them were about dead kids. One's about a dog that doesn't get walked enough. Another is about a dog and his stoner who run around with a whole bunch of trust fund kids.
That was not so dark.
I mean,
well, it's set into
they're not
depression.
Fun. None of these are fun. SpongeBob's about nuclear testing. And then we talked about a bright and sunny world with a whole bunch of like crazy villains that gets turned into fucking Samurai Jack in its depressing ass setting thanks to a queer pink boa wearing demon. Yeah. So, it's a very interesting set that we've picked, but we did not pick there's no bright spot here.
I mean, that defeats just like the fun of making the conspiracy theory. If
it's fun.
Because the show is already lighthearted and fun. You're going to make it more lighthearted and fun.
Good point.
Yeah.
Fair point. So with that, I mean, because I want to bring it to a happy place. What's a real conspiracy theory that you want to talk about?
To bring it to a happy place?
Yeah, I'm tired of talking about all this dark cartoon shit. Let's talk about some happy shit. Tell me about a conspiracy theory that you've heard that's interesting.
I know no happy conspiracy.
I'm just fucking with you. Just talk about a conspiracy theory, you idiot.
I know we were talking about just like JFK earlier.
Yeah. So that actually, I know this isn't a very tasteful place to bring the podcast. However, I do want to talk about. We'll just talk about like. I do think that was a tragedy because he was going to be a good president. He was very popular and whatever. Wow.
LBJ.
He's very popular and well liked and stuff like that. But there was a game that was published.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, called JFK Reloaded. That was basically made as a. It was made as a sort of an aid to support the theory that Lee Harvey Oswald was the lone shooter, because basically the game was you were put up in the book depository, overlooking the street where the motorcade happened, and then you see the motorcade go by, and your job as playing as Lee Harvey Oswald supposedly is to fire the 3 shots that ended up with JFK dying. And basically it'll show you after the whole take what exactly happened. It'll show you the exact trajectory of your bullets. It basically is like a whole what's the word? It's like a recreation of the motorcade at the end, or just the royal motorcade car,
right? Yeah.
Royal presidential motorcade car, and basically it shows it from that point of view where your bullets hit, and essentially it'll show all the occupants of the vehicle and your bullet trajectories, and it'll basically grade you on your performance based on how accurate it was to the actual shooting, based on the, I guess it's the Zapruder film, and basically the official story of what happened. It grades you based on how you did on that. And there's like a crowd, there's other cars and stuff like that. There's all sorts of stuff. And what some people did is they recreated it and kind of gave it a proof of concept that assassination could have actually been carried out the way the CIA said it did. Most people, however, just basically went on a fucking crazy killing spree. And they were like, I'm going to shoot Jackie O. I'm going to shoot the driver. I'm going to shoot the governor. I'm going to shoot the bus driver. And essentially, I'm not going to touch JFK. I'm just going to shoot his motorcade driver, and he's going to rear end somebody else, and everyone's going to fly out of the car, and it's going to be hilarious. And that is what it was. Like, I don't know a single... I've found people who played that game. I first was introduced to it as fucked up. First was introduced to it when I was 10. So that was fucked up. Or was I 8? I don't know. I was not old enough to be fucking...
to be shooting JFK.
To be shooting JFK. So, basically... I had a friend introduce me to it. Another friend I know found it and showed it to me again. And not once, through any of the times people have showed it to me, have they ever played it the way the creators intended for it to be played. A lot of people really condemned it because they were like, this is clearly just an assassination simulator.
Right.
To which the creators were like, yes, but you mean something else. We didn't mean for people to do what they're doing with it. It is an assassination simulator, but we meant for it to be a little more historically accurate.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was fucked up. But, yeah, basically, you could... The only person who had any kind of, like, reaction to the bullets other than just, like, having a tiny hole in them and falling down was JFK. If you hit him in just the right spot, his head would explode. Not his whole head, like the way it actually happened, his head would explode.
Yeah.
So that was fucked. That, like, whenever I will admit I played it, and it was kind of fun just because, like, the ballistics side of it was very interesting, because it'll tell you, like, it hit this part of this person and got lodged, or it hit this part of the car and ricocheted and then hit this person and got lodged, or whatever. You know, and I thought that was very, very interesting. So I did play around with it. I won't lie. It was kind of fun to do that. But then, one time I was like, I'm gonna try and actually do it. And the first shot, I believe it's the first shot, supposedly missed and ricocheted just off the street, and nothing happened. Then JFK got shot in the chest, and he does like that, like he like braces himself, like covers his throat and whatever.
Yeah.
And then the final shot, the golden bullet or whatever, magic bullet or whatever, it hits him in the head, and that part of his head blows off. That happened, and literally, like, 11-year-old me just, like, recoiled in horror, because I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? Because games didn't do that yet.
Yeah.
The closest I'd gotten to that was Doom, and it looked nowhere near as realistic as this game, which this game doesn't look at all realistic anymore, of course, but it was definitely, like, it was, more than Doom, and it was based off a real life event. So seeing that actually kind of fucked me up a little bit. Not in any like meaningful, lasting way, but I definitely was not enjoying the game after that.
Yeah, it's just like even just like seeing like the real footage of it.
Yeah,
It's just like
makes you go like, oh
holy
god,
hell.
yeah. No, I definitely. I just.
It's also one of those things where it's just like, even if all that matters is that the president died.
Yeah.
I don't know if like it really matters if like it was whatever thing happened, because like me as a person, I still just get up and go to work every day and pay my taxes.
Yeah.
It's just like nothing directly, you know what I mean?
I guess.
Because it's like, unless he just had some like big plot to just like just change the course of the country completely to where whatever. But it's also the same thing about just like people who say like 9/11 was a conspiracy.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, but a plane crashed into a building.
Yeah.
It's just like whatever bad thing is going to happen as a result of that, it's just something bad. There's going to be bad consequences from it. I don't necessarily think it matters just like what happened.
I mean, it matters like who did it. But like how it happened, I agree. Like how it happened, I agree it doesn't matter as much, but it matters like what, like who did it. Like cuz if it was the CIA who like killed JFK, maybe the CIA is not to be trusted, or if it was like a shooter on the grassy knoll and we arrested the wrong guy, then that's bad. If it was like an inside government job to like get more oil that 9/11 happened, then that's bad. But it matters who did it. But yeah, if they just like planted bombs on all the steel beams and blew the whole thing out, like I guess people are trying to use the means as proof to the end to pin it on somebody. But yeah, it's just really fucking weird.
Because it's like, all right, I was born in like 94.
Yeah.
So I was like around 7 or like 8 when like 9/11 happened. I don't know the exact age because like the way the months line up or whatever. Just like 7 years after 94, 2001, whatever.
Yeah, you would have been.
I think I was
almost 7. You'd
yeah.
been 6 because it was September. You were
right.
born in
Yeah.
November.
Yeah, but it's like just looking back at it, everything that happened, it's like if the CIA did it, why would they ever tell us?
Yeah.
If it's just whoever they said did it, we went over and did whatever we did to them.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I know that there's games being played on all sorts of levels.
Yeah.
So it's just like, for me as just like regular middle class citizen, whatever.
You know what really like blows me away is sometimes like there will be like weird political intrigue on a local level, because like I don't have an example. I just wanted to talk about like it's weird to me that like mayors or the city council of wherever the fuck will like do weird shit like that, because it's just like nobody fucking cares. No one even knows who you are.
Yeah.
Like the only people who vote for you are like really, really like involved people, of which there are few, and old people. So
this is like the only thing I know of, just like Bud Dwyer, who like killed himself in the videos on YouTube.
oh yeah, that was fucked up.
That's like the only one, just like corruption that I only like.
Yeah.
He didn't even really, people don't even think he was corrupt. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Conspiracy theories are fucking weird. I mean, and it's weird that like, it's weird that people like will be corrupt at that level, because it's like there's such bigger fish. Like you're trying to play the game. If you like try and if you're trying to build a political career at like the city level, and you're gonna go to like the county and then the state and then yada yada yada. If you start being corrupt at the city level, dude, you are like cheating at the tutorial.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like if you have to like be corrupt and cheat and like skeeve your way up the ladder to get to the bottom of the ladder, you shouldn't be climbing that ladder. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. I guess it's just like you can get paydays from it, I guess, and they would rather just take the money now instead of just being like, I'm the head of everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, do you have another conspiracy theory that you want to talk about?
I guess just like the big one that I know of is just like we apparently faked the moon landing.
Did you know someone said that to Buzz Aldrin once and he punched them in the mouth?
He hit them like he hit them
He
hard.
hit them. He floored them. And he was like, I did not go to the moon to have some fucking pansy ass yuppie like you tell me that I didn't go to the fucking moon.
And it's just like,
and this was like, I think it was either shortly before or shortly after Louis Armstrong. I forget his fucking name.
Louis, yeah.
What was his name?
God damn.
It wasn't Lance. It wasn't Louis.
I should remember this. I know Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah,
I don't know the
I
actual
mean,
guy.
he's got such a fucking cool name. Second man on the moon. Cool ass name.
Neil
Armstrong.
Yeah.
Yes. So it was shortly before or after. So he was either ill or like dead, which is unfortunate. But yeah, someone said that, and Buzz Aldrin was just like, no.
Yeah.
No, this is for both of us.
Yeah.
Neil,
Yeah.
this one's for you.
Because it's like the camaraderie you would have to have with that guy. It was
Yeah.
like, we made it to the moon together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only people to do it, like the first people to do it ever. It's like no one can ever take that away from them.
It's just like,
except for the Mayans.
Yeah.
Oh, that joke was so good. I laughed at it. It was mine.
I think people were saying like Stanley Kubrick like directed the moon landing, and it's just like, it's just we went to the moon.
Yeah.
And then it's just one of those things in history where it's just like, we did it.
Yeah.
Nothing.
There's no proof.
Did anything important happen? Like,
this moon rock looks like it's labeled with an A. Even though it is clearly just a shadow, it looks like an A, and therefore it is a movie prop.
because like,
Duh.
I don't know. We literally went to the moon where it's just like, we bet we can get to the moon before you. And then like Russia, I think, was just like, nah. And then we did. And then we got there and was just like, oh yeah, it sucks. Like we probably thought it would suck. There's nothing great on the moon. There's nothing popping on the moon.
Another thing that people like really like, they point at it and they're like, well, obviously it was fake because there's no wind on the moon, because the flag is like, it looks like it's moving in the picture that like is so famous. It's because they put like wire on it to hold it up. So I don't know why they did that. It's not like so I was about to say so people can see it, but no one's on the moon. No one's going to the moon. No one's dicking around on the moon looking at flags. It's the only thing that's there. It's the only fucking... Unless Elon Musk did his SpaceX thing and there's people living on the moon now. No one's there.
I think
So-
my theory is just like,
Fuck.
whenever just like a big thing happens to where it just alters the course of history.
Yeah.
Because the space race was big.
Sure.
So like, or it's just like a 9/11 where it's just like no one saw it coming. It was like the first like major attack on American soil.
Yeah.
When just big things
In
happen.
a long time, but yeah.
Yeah, in a long time. Yeah, because
Harbor.
fucking Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
50s.
And then,
whatever.
not
the 50s.
you idiot.
I don't know.
And then, the Civil War. And,
Yeah. Well, I'm talking just like someone else came here.
Yeah.
And like attacked us.
Yeah, totally.
But
All right, well then, the colonization in the first place.
after a while, it's just like I don't really count.
Yeah, I got
Yes.
you. I got you.
But like the first thing to where it's just like, yeah,
You
Pearl
don't remember
Harbor.
the Mammoth Wars?
Yeah. Pearl Harbor and 9/11 were like the only two where it's just like holy shit.
Yeah.
I think 9/11 like more so just because like I was alive during 9/11.
Yeah, of
So I
course it's more real to you.
Yeah.
Because you were there.
So it's just like it's just these big things, and plus like Japan, we knew who did that.
Yeah.
So like no one really, and plus it's just like
It wasn't a splinter faction.
Yeah.
It was an orchestrated
so,
military
like,
attack.
there's no just like it was just like big nationalistic nasty type war. We know who did it.
Yeah.
When 9/11, it's just like by then you have a lot of people who are just like people are distrustful of just like government.
Oh yeah. Especially
So-
nowadays.
Especially like with 9/11 when it happened, it's just like you have these big events to where it's just like the average person, they recognize, all right, I have a limited amount of knowledge. I don't know everything happening in like the political spectrum of everything. So I think people just like dream up this stuff to where it's just like at the end of the day, it's like people kill each other and get mad at each other. So it's just like,
Yeah.
I really do think at some point, all right, governments are going to be at conflict. There's a Mos Maorum thing. The Romans did it a long time ago. We're just like, we don't want to be at war over no reason because people would think we're assholes.
Yeah.
We're just going to come up with some weird, dumb reason to justify it to where our citizens are just going to be like, all right, war time, I guess.
Yeah, I support this war.
So it's just like, if that's what happened with 9/11, it's not new. It's not fresh.
Yeah.
If it really happened, we ended up in a war anyway.
I half expect you to say it's not new, it's not fresh, it's not fucking cool. You're not hip CIA, you're not with it, it's old shit, you're old shit.
Because it's just like it's whatever. It's just, all right, we need an excuse to go to war. People have made excuses to go to war before.
Yeah.
If it didn't, someone attacked us, we went to war.
Mm-hmm.
If it's an oil thing, I don't know if it's just like we did it for the oil or you went to war for the oil and people who were just happened to go into war with because they attacked us had oil. We just ended up getting oil. So
Yeah.
fuck it. It was going to play out some kind of way.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you can come up with the theory or whatever. Your theory didn't stop it from happening. It happened. So it's just like, I think a lot of people think that like they can be like a major player in just like whatever, but it's like you're just a dude online in a chat room with a bunch of other people who pretty much agree with you anyway.
Yeah, you're shouting, you're literally screaming the whole like gospel to the choir.
And then like
There's no need
people
for it.
who lost family in 9/11, that had to be tragic.
Yeah.
So I would think that they're gonna think of just like the government story, whatever the government said, someone attacked us, because that's just like that. It's just makes
Easy to
sense.
swallow.
It's easier to
Like,
it's easier
at
to
that
swallow.
point, what you need is something easy to swallow.
So you're gonna have people in conflict here with each other, and it's just like, it's just fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely agree with the idea that like, yeah, people like either way, the government made an excuse and just went to war. Now, whether or not it was justified, who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
Like we will literally never know.
Because
like-
it's not the last time it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm sure that people have been like, oh, FDR knew about Pearl Harbor before it happened. Like, there's been people being like, oh yeah, we knew about 9/11 before it was gonna happen, and stuff like that. So I if there are documents that prove it, they're burned by now.
Yeah, we're not
never
gonna.
gonna
They're
know.
not gonna tell us.
Yeah. So basically what we're saying, everybody, is that there's literally no way to know, and that is why we are discussing them, because it's so open-ended. It burns time.
I really think just like the real answer to things is just try to be happy with your life.
Yeah.
Just as long as things don't just like affect your way of life day to day, it doesn't matter what the story is.
Yeah. You gotta act local, think
just-
global sometimes.
It's just sometimes I think it's just like recognize, all right, bad thing happened. Things that happen because of bad things ordinarily is probably going to start happening.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a war. If you're in a position to get drafted, you might go to war. If
Yeah.
not, you stay on the home front and do home front things. It's just
Like buy war bonds.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Conspiracy theories are really, really weird. Do we have anyone that would like? Do we have one that would be fun to leave off on? Because the moon landing was fucking funny. What you got?
I don't know if it's just like fun, but it's a weird one.
Sure.
Like the original Paul McCartney died or something.
What is that?
Did you hear about that?
Tell me.
They were like, all right, the original Paul McCartney from like the Beatles. They say that like the original one died.
Oh, I
some
thought you were talking
kind
about
of
like the original conspiracy theory, and I was confused.
Oh, no.
So you're talking about like Paul McCartney before the one that we have now,
Mm-hmm.
the one who was originally in the Beatles died.
Yeah.
Okay. Do tell.
It's just like we have some. It's just one that's so stupid, to where it's just like, why can't you just have this man be alive? Why do you ever have to like? I think it was like, I forget if he was the one. Do you know which one on Abbey Road wasn't wearing shoes?
Paul McCartney.
Yeah, I think people were just like, oh, he wasn't wearing shoes, and him not wearing shoes represents he's dead in a casket. Why would you put shoes on a corpse? Because da 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 da.
You absolutely put shoes on a corpse in a casket.
It's
What
just
the
like
fuck?
it's the dumbest theory.
It's like you only see them from the waist up, so nobody puts pants on them. Like, yes, they do. They dress them up.
Like people who do news, the evening news, aren't wearing pants. It's like it's the same kind of thing to where it's just like
That's a conspiracy theory.
yeah, that is
It's a hell of a conspiracy theory.
But it's just like, why can't we just have one Paul McCartney? It's just like people
Why
just
do
make
you have
up.
to make a big deal out of it?
Right? It's just people just make up stuff. It's the weirdest. I don't know.
Well, okay. So to be fair, you remember a couple episodes ago we were talking about MF Doom and how he'll send body doubles out. I think that's why people are so distrustful.
In that
because
case,
shit like that will happen.
In that case, get another Lennon, do a reunion tour.
What about George Harrison? Don't.
Get another Hearst.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Just
fucking
get more
don't
of them.
Don't get more Beatles.
Grow them in a petri dish. Make more Beatles. Fuck it.
I thought you were gonna say like fuck George Harrison. I was gonna be super mad at you.
No,
for,
he was
like,
one of the more talented
Yeah, I
ones.
like George Harrison.
He was good.
Well, okay, so whenever, depending on who you ask, all of them are more talented ones. Even the fifth Beatle, who
Yeah.
anyone could argue who that is, except for Ringo. Nobody likes Ringo.
I think he gets. No, he doesn't. He sucks.
He gets a lot of.
Have you
shit.
seen his art?
He's super. Yes.
In Game Grumps, they were talking about it. I went and saw it. It was like, holy shit. So, like,
Well, yeah. There's. It's literally Ringo's MS Paint drawings that he prints out, puts on a wall, and people pay thousands of dollars.
just because
for it.
Ringo made it.
Yeah. My favorite one is the one that just says, "Yer Baby." It's like a weird face, and it just has the text YER baby, Yer Baby. Let me look it up and make sure that's right. But I remember that one definitely existing, and yeah, Ringo. It definitely exists. Yeah, it's like a portrait with like a winking face, very big red lips. The skin is super pink. I can't tell what perspective we're supposed to be looking at this thing because the nose is facing one way and the hair is facing another. And then,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then
it has like a Daytona racing flag.
Yeah, on one half, and the other half is just gray, tinier, like checkered pattern. And over the tinier checkered pattern, it just says, with the spray can tool, it says, "Yer Baby, Yer Baby." I love it.
I think the realist conspiracy theory is that he thinks that's good. He can't think it's good. It's not good.
No, it's
The conspiracy is that he's talented.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
That's yeah. The truth that the government wants you to believe is that he sucks. The conspiracy theory is that he's talented. That's how deep this thing goes. All right. Well, with that, I think
Ringo
we're probably-
Starr's art caused 9/11 and killed JFK and faked the moon landing.
Man, that's a whole lot of things to do for a very pink and green disembodied head.
Yer Baby.
Good on him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you would think that, revolutionizing the very face of rock and roll would be enough for him, but no, he's got to change the entire political landscape and the very idea of science and space travel. So, maybe Ringo's more talented than we give him credit for.
You think just like all the Middle Eastern turmoil and us getting involved, it's all over how shitty his paintings are. Ringo Starr painted something so shitty we had to go to war over it.
And with that, I think we're probably going to cut this episode. Oh, thank you so much for listening. You've been listening to the Less Worse podcast. I'm Jerry.
I'm Akil.
And we'll talk to you later. Bye.